Hello boys, it's Train Lover 16 again. I'm back at it with more stories of Sodor reactions. This week it's Season 6, Episode 3, Leadership. Now, for those who haven't seen the preview of this episode, the Fat Controller is retiring in this episode, and we have no idea who's going to replace him. I guess we'll have to watch the episode to find out. Yeah, it should be an interesting episode based on what I saw from the preview. Also, Douglas underwent the steam diesel conversion thing, meaning he's now a diesel, just like Barry. He was the first one to undergo the steam diesel conversion procedure in Stories of Sodor, and now Douglas has. So let's see how that plays out. So can't wait to see who the next controller is. I have no idea who that man is, but we'll see who takes over as controller of the Northwestern Railway. And is anyone else going to take on the steam diesel conversion, or as it's better known in the Stories of Sodor universe, the overhaul? Is anyone else going to take the overhaul in leadership, and how will this change in leadership affect the Northwestern Railway? Let's find out. So let's begin the reaction in 3, 2, 1.
Ow! Ow! Ow!
Oh, looks like we're getting right into it. Looks like we're getting right into it. There's no, we're getting right into it without the intro.
Ow! 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 Fizzling fireboxes! Don't you mean fizzling fuses? I guess. What's going on, Rob? Something must have come loose. I'll have it fixed in 3, 2, 1. How's that? Much better. Thank you. That was very unpleasant. More like shocking. Oh. Don't give up your day job, pal. How's life as a diesel, Danny? Pretty good, actually. It's great only needing one source of fuel. If I had one complaint, it'd be this. Ugh, that does not suit me. Can you do anything about that, Rob? Maybe. Let me think about it. I'm sure I'll come up with something.
Could turn it into an air whistle, like most diesel engines that look like steam engines in real life have.
Maybe. Let me think about it. I'm sure I'll come up with something. I'm sure you will too. Oh, hello, Sir Topham. What brings you out this late? I have a couple of announcements to make. First, head office has delivered its final report on the recent inspection. We've been cleared of any wrongdoing. Gee, what a shock. That was a real pain in the bunker. Agreed. Congratulations, Sir Topham. We never had any doubt. This was a victory for all of us, Edward, not just me. With that being said, it'll be nice to go out on a high note. A high note, sir? Yes. The second thing I want to announce is my retirement.
Yep, he's retiring.
Sir? You heard me, Edward. Is it because of the inspection, sir? No, that's just bad timing. I've been planning this for a while. Truth be told, I was going to retire last year, but didn't for obvious reasons. Then why, sir? Because it's time. I've been in this industry for nearly 50 years. I'm not a young man anymore. Whatever years I have left, I want to spend with my family.
That's completely fair.
Are you going to be leaving the island, sir? Oh no, I plan on spending those remaining years here.
Good.
You won't get rid of me that easily. Who's going to replace you, sir? I don't know, but whoever they are, I trust you will make them feel welcome. Absolutely, sir. I think I speak for everyone when I say it's been an honor to work for you.
Yes.
The honor was all mine. You are easily the finest engines I have ever had the privilege of knowing. Your dedication and determination is without compare. You made my job easy, and I can't thank you enough. All right, I better move on before I stop blubbing. Good night, engines.
Yeah.
Blimey, I never thought this day would come. Me neither. Good on him, though. Agreed. And I don't envy whoever has to follow in his footsteps. I wonder who it'll be. Well, like Sir Topham said, whoever it is, we'll make them feel welcome.
Yeah, good. And here's the intro. Yeah, occasionally the episode starts before the intro
is the most
plays.
powerful vehicle on land. And the engines of Sodor are the power behind the docks, industries and branch lines that make up the world-renowned Northwestern Railway. These are the stories of Sodor.
Tug's theme is so good. No, Thomas.
Naturally, everyone was shocked by Sir Topham's decision to retire. It was inconceivable that he ever would. Nonetheless, we were very supportive and did everything we could to ensure his final weeks ran smoothly. And I'm pleased to say we were successful. There were no major issues and everything ran like clockwork. On his last day, a massive party was held to celebrate his accomplishments and to wish him well. Not long afterwards, our new controller arrived. Good day, engines. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Ronald Watson. How do you do, Mr. Watson? Welcome to Sodor. I'm Edward.
Never heard
this
of
is
him.
Bruce and Rosie. Hello, sir. Hi there, sir. Nice to meet you. Likewise. Is something wrong, sir? I wouldn't say wrong. I had heard many of the engines in this region were a little long in the tooth, but to see you for myself... Some of us may be getting on in years, sir, but we're all as sprightly as the day we were built. I assume that also means none of you have thought about retiring? No, sir. Pity. And why is that? Never mind. Tell me about this yard. Where is all this traffic coming from?
Oh god,
Random
he's
ducks and the
anti-Steam.
mainland.
He might be anti-Steam.
Tiring? No, sir. Pity.
Interesting.
And why is that? Never mind. Tell me about this yard. Where is all this traffic coming from? Brendam Docks and the mainland. Trains that need to be moved between either places are assembled here first. That seems rather inefficient. There has to be a better way. Nobody's thought of one yet. Then it's a good thing I'm here. I have ample experience when it comes to streamlining operations and improving efficiency. Which way is Brendam Docks? Directly south of here. I'll be headed there soon. I'd be happy to take you. That won't be necessary. I'll drive. Excuse me, engines. Anybody else not liking this guy? Yep, it's a good thing I'm here. Indeed. Humble fellow, isn't he? And all his talk about streamlining and improving efficiency? Why does he remind me of beaching? At least the good doctor didn't have an issue with my age. I pity the next engines he comes across that are also long in the tooth. I don't believe it. A pair of Caledonian 812s. You know about our class, sir? My grandfather worked on the Caledonian Railway. He used to say the 812s would be useful for the next 100 years. Sounds like a wise man. He currently resides in a nursing home because he thinks...
What's this? Oh, shit. Internet's gone off. Oh dear. Whoops.
On the Caledonian Railway, he used to say the 812s would be useful for the next 100 years. Sounds like a wise man. He currently resides in a nursing home because he thinks the Kaiser is trying to kill him. I assume you two have no interest in retiring? No, sir. Certainly not, sir. I can go for another 100 years, even without the conversion. So you've undergone steam diesel conversion? What a complete joke. It would be far cheaper and easier to buy an actual diesel. I suppose it would, but SDC is meant to give lads like us a new lease on life while improving our performance. And has your performance been improved? Yes, sir, and so has Barry's. If you read our files, you'll see that for yourself. All in due time, Donald. For now, I just have one question. Isn't a diesel's fuel supposed to be internal? Ah, damn it.
Oh, has he had a leak?
Internal.
Oh, shit.
Damn it.
What the hell happened?
He was so smug after that. Sounds like Watson. You know him? Oh yes, he's BR's financial hitman. Anytime a region is underperforming, head office sends him in. Efficiency and economies are his bread and butter. Doesn't sound like he's too fond of steam diesel conversion. He's not.
What?
Back in '62, I first submitted SDC to BR's new projects panel. He was the chairman. He was very much against it. Called it a senseless waste of time and resources. Interesting, especially the part about his close ties to head office. Why's that? Well, I find it strange they'd appoint one of their lapdogs to a position so soon after an inspection targeted at his predecessor. You think they were trying to force Sir Topham out to make way for him? There's coincidence, and then there's opportunity. I don't know. If they were trying to give Sir Topham the boot, why didn't they? I don't know, but there's one thing I'm certain of. He sounds like a man who has no problem making drastic changes. And unfortunately, I was right. Almost immediately, our new controller went on an economy drive. Over the following weeks, he closed several facilities, sacked countless staff, and streamlined operations. To clarify that last point, instead of running multiple goods trains, he condensed them into several larger services. These would often require 2 or 3 engines to pull, which could be very tiring at times. To be fair, this did make us more efficient, and Mr. Watson would often thank us. But that didn't stop him from making the occasional remark to those of us that were long in the tooth. This came to a head, for me at least, when he returned to Brendan to reveal his grand design for the branch. If we upgrade the junction near the vicarage so that it connects to the upline, trains could travel directly between here and the mainland. Wouldn't that make the yard obsolete? Of course, in which case we close it down, salvage what we can and sell off the land. We're bound to make a tidy sum from such a project. Is money the only thing that matters to you, Mr. Watson? Let's not be naive, Edward. Money is important. You can't run a business if it isn't profitable, and I suppose chaps like me are a drain on those profits. I wasn't going to say that, but since you bring it up, engines like you require a lot of capital to maintain and operate. But if I retired, it wouldn't be your problem anymore. I wasn't going to say that either, but since you also bring it up, why don't you retire? You've been in service for decades, you've fought in a war. If anyone deserves to enjoy their twilight years, it's you. Maybe, sir, but I enjoy working. I like being useful, and I want to be useful for as long as possible. On the surface, that's admirable, Edward, but I also think it's a tad selfish. Excuse me, sir? How many younger engines could take your place and have a full career? I'm sure your record is very impressive, so why risk compromising your legacy? My legacy will be fine. And you're sure my record is impressive? Is that to say you haven't read it? Not yet. I've been extremely busy, but I am currently working through the files of every engine. I see. Well, after you've read mine, I'll be willing to accept your apology. If you'll excuse me, I must be off. Donald and I have to doublehead the 130 to Wellsworth. The bloody cheek! How is it selfish to want to work? Good on you for telling him off. It was very satisfying, no mistake, and I'm sure he'll make a note of it in my file.
Very nice. Very nice camera angles he's using, rather than just switching between the engine's faces. Yeah, definite upgrade in cinematography since the earlier seasons.
The bloody cheek! How is it selfish to want to work? Good on you for telling him off. It was very satisfying, no mistake, and I'm sure he'll make a note of it in my file when he reads it, if he reads it. Head office must be so proud of their little stooge. Are you still thinking about that? I can't help it, Donald. It just seems so plausible. That doesn't mean it's true or false. I never figured you for the conspiracy theorist. Well, if I'm wrong, I'll apologize to the man. In the meantime, you'll wallow in your delusion. Fine, each to their own. But if we can get back to the real world for a moment, what do you think about his idea for the junction? I hate to say it, but it's a good one. I'm surprised nobody's thought of it before. I do feel sorry for the chaps that'll lose their jobs at Wellsworth. All of them? Alright, maybe not all. Holgate's had it coming for...
Uh-oh. Oh, shit. Not again.
Excellent. Fuses. What happened? My generator failed. Can you restart it? No, it's completely dead. I'm sorry, Edward. You'll have to go ahead and get help. Oh, I'll go ahead, all right. Edward, what are you doing? You can't pull me in this tree on your own. Watch me.
Edward's exploit in this series. Nice. So if Donald keeps breaking down, does that mean he's gonna have to be converted back to steam? If so, that'll be very interesting to see. Well done, Edward. This is why he's such a popular character in the series. He's getting tired. But he's not giving up. And he made it. Well done, Edwards.
Goodness, Donald, I should start charging you rent. And if I'd paid for the conversion, I'd demand a refund. What's going on, Rob? Why am I having so many problems? Barry didn't. I think we got lucky with Barry. Not to mention he is considerably younger than you. So it might not work for older engines? Watson's going to love hearing that. Hardly. Is that what you're saying, Mr. Hall? It's possible, sir. It's also possible these are just teething problems. With enough time and the proper budget, I'm sure we can resolve them. Very well. Excuse me, sir? You heard me, Donald. I'm willing to give this a chance. After reading your file, I'd be a fool if I didn't. Despite your recent issues, there has been a notable improvement in your performance. And as for Barry, well, I can't argue with results. So I'm authorized to make the necessary repairs? You are. Assuming Donald doesn't want to be converted back to a steamy. No, sir. I believe in this project. I admire your dedication. That seems to be a common trait amongst the engines of Sodor. So you've read all our files? Not all. I still have a few left.
Okay, so he's
including
not.
Edwards. So you've admire your dedication.
Okay, so he's
That
decided
seems to be
not to
common
go
trait
back to
amongst
being a
the engines
steam
of
engine.
Sodor. So you've read all our files? Not
Yet,
all.
at
I still
least.
have a few left, including Edwards. Speaking of whom, is he here? No, sir. They checked him out at Wellsworth. They couldn't find anything wrong, so he went back to work. Even after he dragged you all that way, wasn't he tired? A wee bit, sir. But that's our Edward, determined to get the job done. I see. Well, if you'll excuse me, I have some reading to do.
I hope he
He's
likes
surprisingly reasonable. I'll say he almost comes across as human. I wouldn't go that far. You think you can fix me, Rob?
Character
Yes. With a
development.
little tinkering, you'll be right as rain. I'll start with your whistle.
Ooh.
Good morning, Mr. Watson. Good morning, Edward. And thank you. For what? For proving me wrong. I need the occasional lesson in humility. What you did yesterday was nothing short of remarkable. And
Character
after reading your file, I have learned it is one of many, many triumphs to your name. Does your office still stand? It does, sir. Then I apologize. Not just for underestimating you, but for undervaluing you. You're a real asset to this railway, and I'm proud to have you here. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. I need to make an apology myself. I'm ashamed to admit it, but I know about your conspiracy theory, Edward. You do? Why didn't you say anything? Because there might be some truth to it. During the inspection, they made copies of your financial records. I don't know if you're aware of this, but last year's events really crippled them. As one of BR's top
That makes
accountants,
sense.
I was appointed controller on the understanding I'd rebalance the books. And what if Sir Topham hadn't retired? He would have kept his position. So this was all good timing, or bad, depending on your perspective. Nobody wanted to give Sir Topham the boot, Edward.
Uh-oh.
If Barry retired, he would have kept his position. He balanced the books. And what if Sir Topham hadn't retired? He would have kept his position. So this was all good timing, or bad, depending on your perspective. Nobody wanted to give Sir Topham the boot, Edward. He was an invaluable member of British Rail. Yes, he was. He also didn't keep secrets from us. We knew we were in debt, but Sir Topham was confident we would recover in time. I prefer to be proactive in such matters, but I also believe he was right. With chaps like you working here, I'm sure this region will
Good
return
man.
to profitability in short order. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have some apologies to make. I'm pleased to say Mr. Watson made amends with every engine he offended, which was practically all of us. Over time, our new controller proved to be just as capable as Sir Topham. In fact, the pair would meet on occasion, with Mr. Watson often asking his predecessor for advice. He would end the economy drive a few weeks later, and as much as I hate to say it, it would be beneficial in the long run. The northwestern region became profitable once again, enabling more engines to undergo conversion. On that note, Donald was successfully repaired, whistle and all. Not long after he returned to service, work began on upgrading the junction. I'll talk more about that next time, but suffice to say, it had unintended consequences.
Uh-oh, the troublemaker
Suffice to say,
Dudley's
it was
coming.
success again, enabling more engines to undergo conversion.
So yeah, looks like Edward's undergone the steam diesel conversion, along with Duck, Arthur, and Molly. I wonder who else is going to get it. And I wonder if they'll be converted back. My theory is that once the series reaches, like, Season 7, like the 1970s and such, my theory is that when they get to 1973 and the 1973 oil crisis, some of them, and hopefully Edward as well, some of them are going to choose to go back to being steam engines due to the lack of fuel and such. Yeah, due to the lack of fuel around and such during that time. But yeah, that's my theory. The 1973 oil crisis is gonna impact Sodor, forcing some engines to convert back to steam, and hopefully Edward will be one of them.
On that note, Donald was successfully repaired, whistle and all. Not long after he returned to service, work began on upgrading the junction. Back. I'll talk more about that now.
Yeah, so he got his
returned to service.
He got his air whistle.
Whistle and all. Not long after he returned to service, work began on upgrading the junction. I'll talk more about that next time, but suffice to say, it had unintended consequences.
So what trouble is Dudley gonna cause on Sodor? And how will he be put in his place, and who will put him in his place? We shall find out next week. Yeah, this was a very interesting episode. I really enjoyed this one. Definitely better than last week's one. Yeah, so far I'm really enjoying Season 6. Hopefully the other episodes are going to be just... The upcoming episodes are going to be just as good, if not better. But we will see how the season plays out. Thank you so much for this, Victor. I really like this video. I really like this episode, and thank you all so much for watching my reaction. Please like, comment, share this video with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe to me, TrainLover16, if you haven't already, and also subscribe to Victor Tanzig if you haven't already. And I will see you all in my next video. Goodbye, everyone!